Hi everyone. So this is our last video. How exciting is that? This week we have to talk about um, our ways that we try to escape our freedoms, and I have to give a few examples about them. So I wrote down a couple, and the first two I would consider external. Um, I would say I made the choice to have children, and I accepted the responsibility that came with having children, which includes having to raise them, having to become selfless, sacrifice my desires, my personal wishes to tend to them, and to spend that quality time and give them that nurturing that they need. So that is something that I'm fully aware of, and I knew that it came along with particular, you could say, consequences of having children, and I've accepted them. Second one was moving out on my own when I was 17. I graduated early from high school, and I was just ready to leave the small town that I'm from. And I also understood that that was a personal choice and that I would have to accept the consequences of having to take care of myself 100%. So that was very hard. And it took me a long time to, become extremely independent and stable on my own. So that was another choice that I made, and I fully accepted the consequences. Um, I had no choice, so I had to do that. If not, I was going to find myself homeless, or having to run back to my mom's house, and I didn't want to do that. The next two things that I'm going to talk about are, escaping from my freedom, and basically some of the things that I deal with personally is, I enjoy drinking, but I also realize that it is considered a depressant. And I've learned throughout the years that, and especially in nursing school, like how damaging alcohol really is to the brain, to the heart, to the liver. It can cause pancreatitis. It can be the cause of multiple cancers. And so some of those things I have experienced already after drinking. Like I would notice that I would have like heart flutters or palpitations. Um, I've been told before that I have like a fatty liver, and that was around the time when I was drinking a lot. And it wasn't necessarily that I was drinking every day, it was just pretty much that I was drinking every weekend, like socially going out with friends. Um, and then at one point, actually, I did get to a point where I felt like I needed a drink every day after work. I had an extremely stressful job, and that's when I made the change to kind of take a hold of my life and remove myself from such a stressful job to where I could just not think about drinking. Because when I stopped working there, I was totally fine. I didn't need a drink, and actually just use that energy to focus more on myself and have self-awareness to try to exercise and eat better and to try to give myself that kind of mind, body, soul care that I needed. Um, and that is something that I've would say would find challenging, because I have the freedom to go out and drink. I have the freedom to go leave work. A lot of my coworkers, I work night shift, and so at 7 a.m. they are going home and they're having a beer or two every single shift. So I have the freedom to do that as well. Um, and I just choose not to nowadays. I don't think, there's anything wrong. I'm not judgmental about people who drink, but I've just definitely trying to become, um, extremely self aware of the consequences, and I'm trying to avoid them. Um, the second thing that, let me talk a little louder. The second thing that I'm dealing with is social media, and you could say just spending too much time on social media. So what I've done is I have the freedom to download all these apps on my phone, but I find myself spending too much time taken away from my studies or from house chores or from just things that I need to do. And my time is very valuable. I'm a mom and I work, and as y'all know, nursing school is very intense. So, um, becoming aware that I was spending too much time on social media, even though I had the freedom to do that, was a big deal for me. And I started deleting a lot of my apps. A lot of people always ask me, oh, how come you're not on Facebook? How come you're not on this? Because I choose not to be on it anymore, because it's just really not, I don't prioritize that in my life anymore. And so in research of these topics, I actually found out that the new DSM-5 has added internet addiction as a diagnosis. So that's something to look into. I'm going to post a link about it, and I find it very interesting. It's similar to people with gambling addictions. It's the same concept. It disrupts their mood. It makes them feel like they're having withdrawals if they haven't been on the internet on a particular day. They have emotional attachments to blogs or communities or a game maybe. So as I was reading into that, it just really made me realize that, my kids are becoming too dependent on wanting to use a tablet or my phone all the time. And so in researching this, I'm definitely going to be more aware, not be as oblivious to handing my kid the tablet, just because I feel like they earned it. I think I'm going to start using other sources of like rewarding them when they come home with good grades, or if they had a good day and they're acting well and being well mannered. I'm going to reward them in different ways, instead of saying, yeah, you earned weekend time on the PlayStation or on your tablet. So it's pretty interesting. I'm glad it's our last discussion or part of our videos for our last discussions for this week, and I've enjoyed it. Thanks guys, hope you'll have a good one. Bye.